Welcome to DigiVisio's 2030 training on producing micro-content in a team. I'm Kai Weaver.
And I am Tiina Parkkonen, and we are from the Southeastern Finland University of Applied Sciences.
The theme of this video is the micro-content production model. But really, this is a production model which can be used to produce any open educational resources, micro-credentials, micro-courses in a group.
A production model is a structured way of producing content. You start with the ideation and finish with the finalization. Each course or content is produced in the same way. It helps to give the production team and content creator key deadlines and checkpoints.
The production model is also highly scalable. You can run intensive production cycles over a couple of weeks, or spread them out over a semester. We found that the production cycle of 3 to 4 months is quite realistic, with a few dedicated hours each week for the content creator and team. This allows more time for feedback and isn't too rough on the production team.
A realistic scheduling depends on the content creator's resources and goals. Regular meetings and goal-oriented interim tasks are important for progress. With the production model, anyone can be supported to create educational resources or courses. All content is designed with the learner in mind. It doesn't matter if the content creator doesn't have a pedagogical background.
We recommend running a production cycle with a group of content creators working on different courses at the same time. The production team can then run group workshops, and the content creators can get feedback from both the production team and their peers. This helps them develop as professionals and get access to broader skills and knowledge. It also reduces the workload of the production team.
Basically, all of the courses that you produce follow a similar logic and have a similar structure and quality. Let's go through our production model together.
The production model has 5 stages. The first stage is definition, where we do the preparation work and define the content or course that we're making. The second stage is learning design. This is where we do all the planning work and make sure that all the material is well structured and grounded in solid pedagogical principles. In the third phase, we have content creation, where we actually start making the material. Then we go to the finalization and review process, which is exactly what it sounds like. We finalize the material, do the quality checking, and make sure that everything is ready for publication. Finally, we publish and market the course.
We could also call this a production cycle, as once the course has run a few times, the iteration process can start again.
That's the great thing about having a production model and a production cycle. You start with one course, follow it through, and move on to the second one. As we know, with each course, you can't just produce it once and forget about it. The world moves on, and the course will need to be refreshed. So when it's time to update the course, then we can start again.
In the definition stage, this is where we do a lot of the planning work to see if the idea is worth turning into educational content.
That's right, because chances are there might be some fantastic open educational resources out there already on the same topic. So we do our research and make sure that the content which is being proposed fulfills a certain niche and not contributing to an overly saturated market.
So we first start with the idea. We work with the content creator to really think about their idea. Is it viable for microcourse? Is it educational? How could it be made more educational? What things are involved? What exists already? What is the competition? What platform do they want to use?
And we do all of this by starting with a one-to-one meeting with the content creator. And once they've done the background work and scouted out the competition, we then have a group workshop with several content creators at the start of the production process properly. They pitch ideas and get feedback from everybody. And then we all sign a contract committing everyone to the content creation process and agree on the timeline.
In the learning design stage, we start with a group workshop about micro-learning and work together to set learning objectives for the courses. We identify the learners' needs and think about the best strategies to meet those needs. We then have a second group workshop about the pedagogical script or the learning pathways.
Yes, we like to have a demonstration of the learning platform as well at this stage, because this helps the content creators think about how their learning material might look when it's finished and published. And if you're wondering about what methods and tools we use to plan the learning design, well, in the past, we've used both Universal Design for Learning and the ABC workshops. There's lots of useful tools out there already that you can adapt to your learning design phase.
So once we have done the learning design, what happens then?
The focus here is on the content creators during the content creation process. They need to produce content. This content might be text, audio, images, or videos, or other things. We help them and encourage them to book sparring sessions and get feedback from the production team and their peers.
And it's really good to set clear deadlines here.
Yes, and it's worth remembering that we don't just set a deadline and walk away. We need to have regular check-ins. If they are producing audio or video content, help them practice their scripts. Because I know what I write is often very complex sentences that I then struggle to say out loud.
And after everything is created, do you know what happens then?
All right, so once the course is created, it's time to review it and test it. The material needs to be uploaded to the learning platform, although this is the last stage if you're making a social media course. You review the different learning pathways and check all the material meets the necessary accessibility standards and that all the relevant licenses have been acquired for the material. Check the language and invite users from the target group to review the course material. It helps to create a checklist for this stage.
If you have been working with the content creators closely so far and have addressed all these things during the design and creation stages, then this is more about testing the technical aspects of the course and getting learner feedback.
Yes, exactly.
After the course is finalized, it's time to publish and market the course.
And you need to market the course so that you can find students. You might think that this is a different process if you're producing open educational material or if you're making commercial courses, but in reality, it's not. You want people to find the course that you're making, lean heavily on your marketing and communication specialists, and get them involved during the course definition stage. Then they understand the content that's being created and they can help better market the course.
And it's a really good idea to share the stuff you do widely because you want students to take your course and learn from you and your expertise and give feedback too for future iterations. So how long does production cycle last?
Well, that depends. We found that content creators need a minimum of 80 hours to produce a course worth sharing, and this doesn't include the workshops and sparring sessions. It's a good idea to spread this over a semester, but for example, courses can be created in more intensive periods with sufficient hours and resources allocated to the production team as well. It's better to be generous with the hourly budget because you never know what roadblocks might come in the way, and it can be damaging to your reputation to put out a substandard or low quality course. If you're running this cycle over 20 weeks, we'd recommend 2 weeks for the definition stage, 3 weeks for learning design, 4 weeks for content creation, 5 weeks for finalization and review, and 2 weeks for publishing and marketing, with say 120 hours for the content creator. This might seem like a lot, but you really need to allow sufficient time for reviewing and editing the content and peer feedback. The finalization and review process can be quite labor intensive for the production team as well. So it's good to encourage the content creator to share material already during the earlier stage.
That's right, Kai. Do you have some top tips to share on implementing the production cycle?
So creating quality micro-courses requires sufficient time, resources, and personal motivation. The personal motivation of the content creator is really important. They must be motivated to turn their expertise into educational content.
And the producer helps them to do this.
Exactly. Use and lean on your team members' expertise and competence. Everybody has something to give. Make sure you're listening and involving people at every stage of the production cycle.
Keep the pedagogical script up to date. This is a living document. Refer to it all times, especially during the creation stage.
That's right. And as you're doing this, also remember to learn from each production cycle. Chances are you're not going to make something wonderful the first time. It's going to take several iterations of the production cycle to adapt the model into something useful for you and your team. And this production model that we've shown here today is just a model. If it's not suitable or if it's not working in your context, then adapt it. Use it, learn from it, and grow.
And that's the production model.
Thank you.
Thank you.